Hello. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about one of my content pieces, and this is specifically a piece that is a piece of poetry aimed at a non-native speaker, in my case, in my attempt to help them build the skills they need to understand further more difficult texts. This is a poem in particular from a book called Animals, and it was actually translated in English, which I'll show you in a bit, by the Empress Michiko of Japan. Now, on the left side, I actually have a page from the original document from the actual book, but in a classroom full of speakers, I'd expect my students to probably at this point be at least mastering hiragana, which is what you see on this left side. However, I translated it into Romaji so that a non-native novice would be able to at least get something out of this. So, like I said, I wanted to look at the breakdown of this so that you could actually understand the piece, and then from there we can kind of go and say what this piece is actually about and so on, other than the fact that it's a poem. So, when developing a set of skills for translation, oftentimes at first as a non-native speaker you just get thrown a piece and said, okay, now here's some comprehension questions, go. But oftentimes we forget the process behind why and how we translate. So this is just visual thinking in that. So first, there are a few nouns that I can see right off the bat, specifically Zousan. Zousan actually means elephant, and forgive my spelling. And as you see, it repeats quite a few times. So from that I can gather as a non-native speaker that maybe this is the actual context of the poem, being that it starts with Zousan up top. Next few things, I see a few other nouns. I see Kasan, which that looks like, to me, a very casual form of saying mom. And then also Ohana. Ohana is actually the word for nose. So I've got a few things right off the bat, but there's a little bit more than that. There's a lot of other grammatical patterns that are working in this part that we have to make sense of, but one of them that I see right off the bat also is this one right here. It's called nagai. This is the word for long. So nose got long. So from that I can gather that your nose is long, but there's even more going on here. No ne. So ne is another particle that we use when we're saying isn't it. So this is kind of saying your nose is long, isn't it? But even more so, that no actually represents the need for more information in speech, and in specifically written texts, it's depicted as no and not which is a strong contrast. From here, we can kind of look down here and say soyo. Well, soyo is an agreement, so yeah, it is. But down here it says kasan mo nagai no yo. So my mom's is also long, I assure you, is what this part means. Or it is long. From here you can kind of see it's quite a simple, very, very, very simple text. Down here it goes on to repeat, Zousan, Zousan, dare ga suki nano? So basically that means, who do you like? And down here, anone, as it's mirroring the soyo up top as a very casual response. I'm not sure, or I wonder, perhaps. And then down here again, ka-san ga suki na yo, suki nano yo. So I like my mom the best, I assure you. So from this translation, it's really, really simple from a more experienced reader, but breaking down these simple parts in, okay, first, go through the nouns, go through the verbs, what patterns, what do you think it's trying to say, could help a non-native reader. And from there, we can kind of think about the actual translation, because like I said before, it was translated by, Empress Michiko of Japan, and what she might have wrote. So let's scroll down. And she translated a little bit differently. So, little elephant, little elephant, little elephant, what a long nose you have. Sure, it's long, so is mommy's. Little elephant, tell me who you like. I like mommy, I like her the most. And that's quite different than the actual translation that I kind of verbally went through here, that I would dissect maybe in a class or over a topic. And that, in a sense, is kind of allowing new readers, new Japanese readers, when upon looking at the text, to realize that not all translations are created equal, and that as a translator, you have a little bit more liberty to translate a piece as to kind of how you like, eloquently or not so much, if you're going to go quite literally like I did. So from that also raises the question, who is this actually for? As you can kind of guess from Michiko's translation, it's aimed at a child, or if you didn't already catch that from the ka-san, the casual form of saying mom, it's actually a children's song. So unfortunately, I don't have the way of showing this YouTube video with sound. I don't know why. I'm going to try it in just a moment just to be safe. But this would be a children's song that parents would sing with their kids. So giving it more context. But then also raises the question, isn't this very simple for say a high school student taking a Japanese course to understand? It is. But at that same point, the literacy objectives in specifically my content areas are very low in comparison, because I'm building from zero. I'm building from that kindergarten level up to, say, a 4th grade level, where, as odd as it is to say, I could technically be at in Japanese. But in a nutshell, that was Zousan, and I'm going to leave you with this. Hopefully we can listen. I don't know if it's playing. Let's see. Maybe. And for my last point, I just wanted to write out a full translation of the song in comparison to Empress Michiko. And this is kind of what it would actually look like as a heads up. So, with the actual proper punctuation and grammar. But that was my visual thinking for my content area text, and hopefully you learned something. Or something. Thanks so much. Bye.